This is important because you've got the president and the administration hinting about hitting China hard on tariffs. Well, the hit HBO TV show, we're going to put this into perspective for you, Game of Thrones, it has taken the crown for the 6th year in a row, and it's a crown it doesn't want. The most pirated TV show on the internet. Season 7 was pirated more than 1 billion times. Pirated DVDs. Look at this picture. These are DVDs that often appear right on the street corners of Shanghai and Zhengzhou, sometimes even before a show or a movie's release. One entertainment industry watcher says Chinese theft of the U.S. entertainment properties has to be stopped.
This is a big ongoing problem and issue for Hollywood. I mean, we do the money, we do the creativity, and they rip us off, and Trump should go after them on this front. It's a huge export surplus that we have going on with Hollywood with regard to the world. It's one of the areas where America really dominates. So he's right to protect it.
Research shows the cost of Chinese intellectual property theft overall to the U.S. economy may be high as $600 billion. That's just annually. Now reports say President Trump is really crafting a way to combat this by slapping huge tariffs and trade restrictions, even visa issues against China. In a Fox Business exclusive, D.C. expert, Horizon Investments chief global strategist, Greg Valliere joins us. Greg, you say the president might want to hold off on tripping the trade war wire. What's behind your warning?
Oh, I think China is coming soon, maybe in the next few weeks. Really important, Liz, to just point out, this is different from aluminum and steel. That's controversial. A lot of Republicans don't like that. Canada doesn't like that. Everybody is in agreement, both parties, the EU, that something has to be done about this piracy from China.
It is very evident. Couldn't agree with you more. You know, working in the media and working for companies, 21st Century Fox. We worked at NBC many years ago with important creative intellectual property that was constantly being ripped off by the Chinese, sometimes even before a movie was released. I mean, you look at Avatar, which is a 21st Century Fox. That was a movie. You know, Avatar had something like 500,000 rip-offs in its first 2 days of being in the movie theater. I mean, even before it got to your local theater in America, it was on the corners of Shanghai and Beijing. So I get that. But if they focus on everything for China, how do you think that will affect our U.S. economy? We've got a lot of Americans who like to buy less expensive Chinese goods.
Sure. Well, first of all, Liz, I think we're going to hit them hard. It's going to be Chinese toys, furniture, telecommunication, maybe visas for kids who want to come to American universities, maybe Chinese investment. So what do they do in return? I think if there's one really vulnerable sector in the U.S., it's agriculture, cattle, crops. I think there'll be a big hit for agriculture, but I don't think Trump can be dissuaded. I don't think Congress can stop him. And the interesting angle here is that a lot of Democrats would go along with this as well.
Absolutely. This is what Democrats have called for a long time. Protectionism to protect the American worker from losing his or her job because the foreigners are doing it cheaper. Not better, cheaper. So to that I bring in what you said, he can't be dissuaded. Larry Kudlow has just been named as the National Economic Advisor to replace Gary Cohn. I've worked with Larry for many years. Such a delightful guy. We used to joke. I said, Larry, you know, you're more free marketeer than I am, and I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to this. And now it appears that he has, let's say, converted from that religion to the president's religion, which is fine. That's his choice. But is that dangerous because the president appears to say, well, Larry's getting it now, getting his way?
Well, I think it depends on the issue. If we're going to withdraw from NAFTA, that's a big deal, and I think Larry would have reservations on that and steel and aluminum. But on this Chinese story, I don't think he will have any reservations. I think that's one story where there'll be a lot of unity.
It's great to see you, Greg. Thank you so much for coming on
Great
the show.
to see you.